Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In this therapy session here today, we're going to be working with a patient who has a lot of self-blame, a lot of problems with low self-worth, and a lot of self-punitive ideas around deserving to be punished. So it's quite a heavy session with a person who is disorganized and in her relationship suffers a lot from domestic violence. And so what we're going to basically try to do over the series of these sessions is to help her reduce her self-blame and work up the motivation and the courage to leave her relationship that is at the moment a domestically violent relationship. I hope you learned a lot from these sessions. I hope they're engaging and that you get something out of them. And I'll see you again after the video where I'll be wrapping up sort of what we learned and what we saw. So stay tuned for the wrap up at the end of the video. Natasha, what are the problems you've been having?
So, I have just been really struggling with my anxiety pretty badly lately, and I'm not too sure exactly why I'm getting so anxious all the time.
Are you experiencing that anxiety right now?
Um, yeah, a little bit.
How are you experiencing that anxiety right now here with me?
I just don't like the idea of being in therapy for anxiety. I don't think I belong here.
All right. So what do you think is causing that anxiety for you?
I think it's a lot to do with me as a person. I just can't get a grip sometimes and I can't pull myself together.
I understand. And in your body, how do you experience that anxiety?
I just feel tense. I feel like my mouth is dry. I feel like I'm kind of struggling to keep a deep breath a lot of the time.
And what do you think causes that anxiety for you here with me right now?
Just because I don't know why I should. I don't know what's causing it, and I don't want to have to ask someone else what's causing my anxiety. I'm hopeless. I can't figure it out myself.
Right. And I can see that you're anxious here now and you're not really sure what causes your anxiety here with me. Do you feel anxious in any other situations?
When I'm at home, in the afternoons, the evenings.
Sure. Is there any specific example of a time that comes to mind for you?
When in the evening, when my husband's coming home, I just, with knowing that he's on his way, I just start getting uncomfortable sometimes. But
You get anxious when your husband comes home.
when he's coming home.
When he's coming home. Okay.
When I know he's coming home.
Yeah. Okay, all right. When you know he's on his way home, you get anxious then.
Yes.
I understand. Okay. And what causes that anxiety for you knowing that your husband is coming home?
Because I don't know what he's going to be like when he gets home. I don't know if I've done everything right during the day. I don't know if I've made a mistake, and it makes me anxious that he has to come home in case I've done something wrong.
Okay. When you say in case you've done something wrong, what kind of things would you do wrong? What can you tell me more about that?
I I I didn't hang out some towels in time to dry, and he's come home and he's needed one, and there weren't any.
And when was this happening?
Oh, this was yesterday.
This was yesterday. Okay. And what happened then when you found out that the towels weren't out?
He he'd been drinking, so and I didn't have everything done, and it was a really stupid mistake on my part, really, and I just, he gets upset, and of course he does. He gets angry. He's been at work all day, and I couldn't even get him the towels that he likes. He doesn't want the other ones, and I just didn't get it right, and he gets angry, and he loses his temper. That's all it. Yeah, it's.
You don't hang the towel out. He comes home.
he's drunk, he loses his temper.
Yes.
Oh, and then what happened?
He just threw a couple of he'd been drinking and he got angry and he just lashed out and he got violent and I should have known better. That's the bottom line.
I can hear that there's some part of you that thinks that you should have known better.
I definitely should have known better. I mean, it's a very simple thing. I don't know why the fuck I couldn't just get it done.
I can see that there's some part of you that's really wondering why you didn't just get it done.
Yes.
Because that way he wouldn't have gotten violent with you?
Exactly.
That?
That's the thing. There would have been no reason for him to get upset if I just had my act together.
When you say he got violent with you, what does he do when he gets violent?
He hits me, but not in the face. Never like that. No, he's not like that.
No.
Just not really where anyone can see it. So it's not,
He hits you here?
Yeah, but that's, that's...
Yeah, no,
okay.
we're just looking at it. We're not looking to judge or anything. We're just looking to understand.
I'm not a battered housewife. I don't look like one.
I understand. We're just looking to understand what's happening. You're not looking to judge or blame anyone for anything. We're just looking to understand what actually happened.
Well, it is my fault. It's definitely my fault. It's a very simple thing. Like, I was home most of the day. I had half the day off. Why didn't I do something? It's very simple. It's just because I don't know what it is. I was just angry. I couldn't get my shit together. And that's, who can blame them, really?
And yesterday when he comes home and he hit you here with a fist, did he? Or was it sort of open hand or?
With his fist.
With his fist,
He's a very strong man.
Okay. When he hit you with that fist to the side here, was it the side here?
Yes.
Yeah. As we sort of talk about that together, what do you notice feeling inside you towards your husband?
I wish he had a better wife. I wish I had my shit together.
Yeah.
I wish I was. They're just simple things that I just don't get right, and I'm really struggling with it, and that's what I need. That's what I'm here to try and fix.
Can we look at that a little bit? What happens there just in that moment? He comes home. You haven't hung up the towels. He gets angry with you. He's drunk. He loses his temper, and he lashes out at you. And then something happens. We don't know what, but possibly you have some feelings about that. We don't know. But then what happens is, do you then get anxious and then tell yourself it was your fault?
Well, it was my fault.
I understand that.
I mean, of course I get anxious. The whole thing is horrible. It's horrible, but it's my fault. That's the bottom. Obviously, it's very simple.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we're just looking at it. I'm just trying to understand something that's an of course for you, but it's new for me.
Okay, well, can't you see it? I mean, how would you feel if you came home and there weren't towels hung out?
I'm not entirely sure if I can understand it yet to know how I would feel in that same situation with you and your husband. But if you can help me understand it a little bit more, it seems like when he does come home and he gets angry at you, you feel anxious. He hits you, you feel anxious, and then you start self-blaming. Is that what you? And then you think it's my own fault.
Because it is my fault.
Because it is your fault. I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So something happens as we look at it here now together, do you sort of start feeling anxious then too? As we look at this.
Very anxious, yes.
Okay. So there's your husband being angry at you, you feeling something in return. We don't know what that is, but whatever that is makes you feel really anxious.
Yes.
And when you then know, when you know that it's your fault, does that help settle the anxiety at all?
Yes. Once I acknowledge my role that I've played, my anxiety comes down and I don't feel so anxious, so
I understand.
Worked up anymore. I can breathe a bit better. When I acknowledge my problems, I can breathe better.
Yeah. So when you then have these ideas that it's your fault, when you then thinking this, when you acknowledge that to you, your anxiety goes down in that situation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So There's some part of the where your husband comes home and he gets angry and he gets violent and you get anxious, and when you then start knowing that it's your fault, your anxiety gets less.
Yes.
Okay. There's a series there of things that happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's some spots there where we haven't really fully understood yet, some blank spots. We don't fully understand how you feel towards him, but we know that whatever happens makes you feel really anxious, and then the self-blaming helps reduce that anxiety.
Yes, it makes me feel so much better when I acknowledge my wrongdoing.
I understand. Do you think that we could, in our next session, look a bit more at this, what actually happens inside of you that then makes you feel anxious in this situation?
I think that might be a good idea.
Okay, well, let's do that.
All right, so what did we learn looking at this video? We saw how perpetually over and over and over these concepts of not really being worthy enough, of needing to be blamed or deserving to be blamed for the everyday punishment that she was getting. So it's like, it's not even a thing where we think to ourselves, okay, maybe it's like a partner type relationship where maybe one person does something and then the other person does something, and then it's like a squabble, and then it's like both of them have a fault in there, both of them have some things to blame, but of course it should never be about violence. No, we were talking about such simple things like, I have not cleaned up enough. And if I haven't cleaned up enough, partner comes home, is violently aggressive towards me, and I deserve that. It's partly my own fault that happened. In ISTDP terms, what we call that is a defense of identification. You can say identification with an abuser. Basically what happens for a person is that because they can't really take their own position, or they're not allowed to take their own position because of strong ideas of needing to be punished, for example, or being blamed, when someone abuses them, their brain automatically kicks in. They get anxious and they automatically take the position of the abuser to reduce any complex feelings they might have towards that abuser for the abuse. So it's, as you can see, an extremely harmful thing and an extremely dangerous thing that would happen. And if we let this go on for the patient, if we don't bring the patient's attention to the fact that this is happening for them, well, they're in extreme danger, both emotionally, physically. And so it's our job, essentially, to help the person think about things like, why are they in that relationship? Do they genuinely deserve to be beaten up or punished in that way? Do they have any anger? Are they okay with feeling that anger? Can they sit in a position where they can be angry at anyone who's hurting them? Do they have the right to defend themselves and the right to protect themselves? So these are all the topics that we sort of want to talk about in one way or another. I hope you stay tuned for the other videos that are coming. I'll be releasing the other videos in sort of a slow succession, basically by weekly basis. You're going to see those sessions, but by the end of a month or so, all 5 of those sessions should be released. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, press the bell button. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there are things that you think could have been done differently. I looked at the video and I thought, oh, a lot of that is sloppy work, but also a lot of it is because, you know, we're trying to reproduce something that we've watched a video together, and we're trying to reproduce that thing. So it's like, oh, sometimes I'm like, that's not what I said. And sometimes it's like, oh, what I said here is actually a lot worse than what I said there. And sometimes it's like, what I said here is probably what I should have said there. So anyway, that's the nature of role-playing, not role-playing, but of acting. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Oh, also subscribe and all that. Did I say that? And also follow me on @DrSia, where I release stuff out all the time, and I have a bunch of videos there too. So if you enjoy the content here, please go on @DrSia on Insta as well. Thank you. Did you subscribe? I'm just gonna wait till you subscribe. No, I'm not gonna. I'm joking. Please just subscribe. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I'm watching you. Whoever. There you go.